All right, we are recording. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Mariah Newsom. I'm a double diamond with the company. I've been with ItWorks for about 15 months. Well, I guess almost 16. It'll be 16 this month. So I'm so excited to get on here and talk to you guys. Signing distributors is like one of the most important parts of this business. It's the quickest and easiest way to bring in massive amounts of volume to completely like propel your business. So I'm so glad you guys took the time out of your night to hop on here with us. I do want to say, since we took time to come speak to you guys, if you're not doing something like really weird, if you could take 2 seconds and turn your camera on. It's so much nicer talking to beautiful smiling faces than just names on little black boxes. So turn your cameras on and we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna share just a couple tips and then I'm gonna throw it over to Cheyenne. So my first tip when it comes to signing distributors is to talk to everybody. I feel like that's like super cliche to say, but guys, if you don't ever ask, you don't know. You're automatically going to be removing yourself from that potential. You are totally cutting off the opportunity if you don't ever bring it up. And you don't realize how many people want this business if you don't ask. It's so simple. So there's a couple ways that I do this. I'm gonna try to share some scripts with you guys, so bear with me as I'm flipping back and forth. So anytime I talk to a potential customer, I only give them 2 options when it comes to pricing. One, they can join as a product model on a 90-day plan, because that's the best way for us, with residual income there. Or they can become a rep with this business, make money, and try the product. So here's my script for that. It says really simply, we have 2 options to get you started. Option 1 is 90-day results challenge. For best results, you receive my 40% discount for 3 or more if you choose months. So you'd receive it for only $33 a month. This one specifically was for hair, skin, and nails. Amazing points, flash sales, and my discount for life. Or option 2, we could get you set up as a rep, use the product, share the products like I do, get the same discount and perks, more, and be able to make extra money. And so giving this option, you would be surprised how many people are like, wait, I can get paid and use this product. I can get paid and lose weight. And oh my gosh, so then not only are you bringing in a new business partner, which is going to grow your business, you're bringing in a business partner who's going to come in with volume because they want to go order the hair, skin, and nails, or they want to go order the thermophyte. So you're not bringing in a 0 box, you're bringing in a 30 BV box or a 60 BV box. So you're getting the best of both worlds. And anytime, even if you have to sacrifice the BV and sacrifice the customer for them to become a distributor, one customer can be, whatever the volume is, one distributor could be an ambassador. And you don't know who they're going to be. You never want to be so focused on the possibility of a potential customer that you forget to ask about the business. The next thing, when it comes to talking to everyone, I think where I probably get the most of my potentials is through host to post. So I do not do distributor host to post. I only do host to post for customers. I don't want distributor host to post because I feel like it's super impersonal and I don't feel like I have a chance to actually get to know people. I get more riffraff that way. So I only do customer host to post. But every person that posts for me needs money. So every person that posts for me, because we do a cash drawing, needs this business. So I'm automatically, within a couple of days of them posting, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to send this, put it in the chat. It's super simple. It just says, hey girl, I wanted to thank you again for putting up a post for me last month, helping me reach my goal. Have you ever considered working with me for some extra money? I think you'd be amazing. And what you did by posting for me is exactly what I do every day, except I get paid for it. Do you want some more info? And you can kind of change up that wording with how quickly you're responding to people. I'm still messaging people from the last few days of last month, so that's what I'm using now. But I think this is probably where I get the majority of my potentials because, like I said, we do a cash drawing for our giveaway, and these people, they already need money. They already know what to do. They know they can post, and for the most part, most host to posts are going to get some kind of interaction, and then you have the ones that blow up, and you can be like, dude, I just got 33 potential customers off your post. You have a warm market. Stop letting me make money for you. Step up, let's do this. And I'm gonna help you sign these people. And so it just opens a window to talk about the business. And then the only cold message I ever send is I send this, And oh, there we go. Okay, so, and I love this because I don't do cold messaging much. That's not really my style, but this is so simple. I send it as one message and it says, hey girl, quick question. Do you happen to know anyone who would be interested in making an extra income from social media? I'm expanding my business to your area and I thought I would ask you first. And this is amazing because it's non-confrontational. It's not like I'm messaging you like, hey, do you want to make money from your phone? Hey, do you want to be in my business? And no one's going to take pressure because I'm not talking about them. I just want to know if any of you happen to know someone. But guys, people are nosy. They don't want their friends to have some secret sauce and some amazing opportunity that they don't get to have. So 90% of the time, people are like, I may be, what would that entail? And it opens the conversation. And I think the biggest thing is just planting the bug, opening that conversation any and every time that you possibly can. The next thing is to tell your story every single day. And you don't have to do it in long, extravagant posts. I mean, it's so amazing to take time to really come out and tell your whole story, you know, through lives, posts, stories on your stories. That's amazing. But it's also okay to focus on one chapter. Like each chapter of your life is going to impact a different person. And we want to bring in so many different kinds of people. We can't just say the same thing over and over. Like, it may relate to one person, the fact that you remember the days where you used to only be able to put $5 in your gas tank and now you can fill it up. And that's going to relate to someone, but it may not relate to other people. But then if you can talk about, you know, dropping your kids off at daycare or not having to drop your kids off at daycare, that's going to relate to someone else. Those both are part of your story, but they're individual chapters of the same book. So we want to make sure that we are taking time to really dive into each chapter and each part of what makes us who we are, what our story is, and talking about all those, because that's how you're going to bring in those different people. And you have to do it consistently. Don't be ignorant at the idea that people know what you are doing and know who you are. We are constantly growing our network. You're not going to bother people by telling your story every single day because you're bringing in new people every single day who don't know you, who don't know your story, who don't know what you do. And so find new ways to tell people your story, find new ways to incorporate it, but make sure every day you are taking the time to tell your story. And remember that the small wins are sometimes the biggest wins. I think especially as we get farther in this business, it's easy to think like, oh, I'm making $30,000, or, you know, when we get started, we're like, oh, I don't have any money, so no one's going to want to join me. They'll join me when I make $30,000. And guys, the reality of that is that's unattainable. Like, no one's going to sit on their couch as like a crying, broke mom who can't put her kids through school and be like, oh, $30,000? Yeah, I can relate to that. Like, they're not going to. They can dream to an extent, but they're not going to feel that. So where you are in your story is important. If you just joined, that's important. Talk about the small wins you have daily. Talk about the fact that you are going to be able to keep your kids home, that you don't have to stress about gas in your car, that your marriage is thriving. It's doing so good because you don't fight about finances anymore. Like, think about the small things that we take for granted. Those are the things that people are going to relate to. Think about, if you've been in a while, think back to what caused you to join. What were those stressors? Was it the fact that you were late on your bill? Like, for me, we used to pay our rent a week late every month because we couldn't afford it. And so they added $130 late fee, but it gave us 7 days to get the money. And I get to pay my rent early now. Like, that's huge. For me, I take that for granted. But if I tell that story, that's going to resonate with somebody. So it's important to remember those small wins to be relatable. And then my third tip is not to rely on scripts. I know I shared some with you guys to use, but at the end of the day, if we are using scripts and we are so focused on using scripts, we are turning this into a system. We don't want a system, we want a relationship. It's not just that A, B, C, D, it's hi, how are you? Who are you? What is this business going to do for you? What can I do for you? And when you can take someone and instead of looking at them as a potential 400 bucks or a potential Ruby on your chart and look at them as a real person who needs this business, who this business could change their life. I mean, think about the value that money can have for people. You know, by reaching out to someone and talking to them about the business, you may save their marriage. You may keep them from one day getting a divorce because you are the thing that helps alleviate the stress there. You know, think about how many people, as sad it is, that kill themselves over finances. and being broke and being homeless, and you don't know who you're talking to. You could be the person that keeps them from going down that road just by asking. So it's so important to remember that we are talking to real life people who have real life issues, who really need us. And if we can find that value, you're going to go so much farther than if you're just using a script. So those are my 3 tips. I'm going to throw it over to Cheyenne. If you can unmute yourself.
Yes, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to go and start with my story because that's probably going to be the longest part of this. So if y'all don't know me, hello, my name's Cheyenne Nickerson. I am a triple diamond with this company. This month is actually my 2 years in this company, which is like super crazy to think. I went triple a year and a half into my business. And I basically just joined for freedom, just to keep it like super simple. I really didn't need the extra income until it came into my life, and then I realized how much I needed it. I seriously just joined because I was like overworked and underpaid. I was a full-time college student working 3 jobs. I just didn't want to live that life anymore, and that's truly why I joined this business. And I just kind of like took it honestly for granted at first. Like I was like this, like I just kind of used it as a side hustle, and then I was upset when it paid me as such. Like I was upset like when I got paid as a side hustle, and it was like one of those things where it was like, why, like how can I make more money? And my enroller, who is Cheyenne Knox, she was like, you need to like go, like let's run. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And I went Ruby in like 15 days in February of 2018. I went March. I went Emerald in March the next month. I went Diamond in June, Double in September, and then Triple in March. And then we're going Prez in the next 90 days, which I'm super excited about. So that's ultimately my story, just long story short. I just don't want to like beat around the bush or anything. So my tips for you guys, I have like a couple different things, and I am going to be again sharing some messages with y'all. I am going to like hop off of like some things that Mariah had said. I love what she brought up first about no scripts. Like that is so true, you guys. Like I don't want to say I use scripts. I have scripts and messages, but I change them every time I use them. So I hope that makes sense. Like if I'm talking to Mariah and she's a potential distributor for me, I'm going to use my what we do as distributors message, but I'm going to change it to like fit the conversation that we're having. And then with the next thing, I always ask them for their why. And then I always answer that with however it makes me feel, like if it makes me cry, and then I go into like why I joined the business, how to make quick cash, and that I will be here to help you build your business, how we get paid, and how to get started. That is truly my distributor conversation. I just kind of wanted to that was like my 4th tip, but I just wanted to jump into that real quick because I knew she said, or Mariah had mentioned that she doesn't use scripts, and I just wanted to elaborate on that real quick. My biggest tips for signing distributors are actually a little bit different than Mariah's, so I'm really glad that we are different, so you can kind of get two perspectives of everything. But I actually love doing Instagram host to post for distributors. I signed 4 distributors on the 1st from Instagram host to post, and I signed a total of 15 in September, but 6 of them were from host to post. So host to post are just my jam for distributors, but I do also use them for customers. It just kind of depends on what I'm focusing on basically for the business. For this month, I'll just be I'm focusing on distributors from the 1st to the 6th because I'm trying to rack up as many points as I can. I've already gotten 2,000 from distributors this month, so I'm trying to hit another 3,000 on top of that by the end or by the 6th. So from there is when I'm going to start switching that over to back to my customer host to post, but that's just another way, or what's it called? Another way, I guess, to get them. And I'm just trying to look back. Okay, so the next thing I want to go over is just kind of how she was saying, in your post, be real, you guys, be vulnerable. People do not join me because I am a triple diamond making a 5-figure income, or a 5-figure monthly average. That is not why they joined me. Insert income disclosure. People join me because I joined because I was broke when I started this business, you guys. People join me because I was a full-time college student. They joined me because I wanted freedom with my family and with my boyfriend, and for that extra $200 to $500 a month. They didn't join me to make a 5-figure paycheck a month. I wouldn't have joined for that. So yes, that is an amazing part of my story, and I love sharing it, but that is not going to attract distributors to you. I don't reach out to distributors in a way, but I will go into that. excuse me, I'm like losing my voice. This is going to be fun. But yeah, I just like to be really vulnerable in my posts, and like, I'm trying to like look back at some of the other ones, but, ooh, so on the first, I like shouted out my goals for this month, and I said how like my team's going presidential in the next 90 days. And then the post before that, I said how like I never had a lot of friends growing up, and I thought that I was okay with that, and like how this business brought me my literal best friends. Like I have more than I can count now. I'll do a picture of me and a girl on my team, and I'll like share her story and like why she joined and things like that, so people can like relate to other stories. Whenever we were at green carpet, like I was posting pictures at the beach and like things like that. So I just like try to keep it a little bit different, but oh gosh, I just try to be super vulnerable, and I do a opportunity / life post every day. Obviously some of them do throw in products as well, but majority of the time I'm like, it's always business related or / life related, you know, and then sometimes I throw in the product. So like today, for example, it was like talking about how I'm confident in my own skin using these products, but that's because I joined the business. So you can kind of catch my drift. I always try to mention the business every single day, just because I want to keep that in people's faces. Because I know it's like always like with the algorithms and everything, not everyone sees my post all the time. So then on top of that, I do try to use my stories for products, and I will always throw something about the business in there. I try to keep one business like story section, I guess, like where it has like 5 pictures that look alike. I like to keep one of those in my story for like every 24 hours. I try not to blow it up unless it's like $50 to join, $20 to join. There's like bonuses, like those kind of things, or it's like the end of the month where I'm just like pushing for some quick distributors. But that's kind of how I like to utilize my story. Going along with that, my reach out message. So I do like message for customers, and in my message for customers, it does mention the business. So at the very end of it, okay, this is what it says at the very end. And it goes, I also have spots available for earning an extra income like me from my phone, or simply just helping me spread the word about my business. And then obviously prior to that, it talks about the products or my personal discount. So using that, I've gotten so many people that are like, yeah, I'd actually love to learn how to earn an extra income. So it's just like another way that I can utilize like reaching out to them without saying like, hey, do you want to make money? Because like, I don't know, that's kind of weird for me. I'm not comfortable with that. So I wouldn't want, how I always like to look at it is, if I wouldn't like to receive that message, I'm not going to send it to someone. So if someone messaged me and was like, do you want to make an income from your phone? I'm like, well, do I look broke? Like, do I look like I need an income? Because like, I don't want to look broke, but like I am, you know? So I just did never want to do that. But if I do it like that, I don't know. I just feel it's not as like, I don't know. That's kind of how I like to do it. I hope that makes sense. And then along with that, it also gives them the option, like I said, to do a host to post or to become a customer. And that message has been working really well for me, or that end of it. It's just been like, I use it on Instagram and Facebook, and I've been getting a lot of potentials for everything on both, which I'm super thankful for. And then I'm trying to go through these. Okay, the next thing I wanted to say was I wanted to touch on how Mariah was talking about the 2 options for her price. That I'm guessing I got it from you, because I started using that and it's been working. So like, I don't know if it was from you, but that's like the exact script I have. So like you sent that and I was like, that's where I got it from. Like that makes so much more sense. But yes, like that is so amazing, because people see that and they're like make an income, like what? And then like if you're talking about a triple threat, like in that package is what, like $150 something. I mean, like the business right now is like a third of that. So I mean, you can even bring it in like that, or if you have your half off codes, or if it's just 99, like that's like such another way that you can like utilize open the opportunity. I cannot talk, you guys, I'm so sorry. In addition to this, whenever I do say my like how to get started message, which is essentially like it's $99, this is just the message that I use. This is just the $99 one. This one's been helping me so much, because I just say like, when most businesses cost tens and thousands or $10,000+ out of pocket, because most people don't know how much it costs to start a real business, and I didn't until I Googled it, because I'm green and that's the kind of things I like to Google late at night. So like on average, it costs about $10,000 to start a business. And like, that's a lot of money, you guys. Like, Come on. So that was just like another thing that I wanted to throw in there. And ever since I started doing that, like I've even had people say like I had no idea about that, but like that's so cool because like it's only $99. So then they kind of already get into that mindset that it is only $99. Like you're literally able to start a multi-million dollar company for $99, you guys. And then if you're lucky, you can get it for even cheaper, which to me is literally outrageous. Like I would give my left hand for this business. And the fact that like, oh my gosh, I could just go I can't talk. I could do a whole nother Zoom about that. But the last thing I kind of wanted to go into is just how I train distributors. I'm not going to go like too far in depth because I am super green and I love details. And again, we could be here all night. But how I like to do it is just like a super personal one-on-one training. The first thing I ask them is, are you detail, friend, or goal oriented? So from there, I kind of get the array of if they're red, green, or blue/yellow. And then from there, it kind of depends on how I train them. If they're detail oriented, like I am, I send them a YouTube video that I made. It's like 20 minutes long, but if they're detail oriented, they want that. That's kind of why I do this, because I want this training to be as personal as it can. And one training, I found at least that one, or I haven't found a training that works for everyone. Because like some people are detail oriented. Some people would rather have that personal connection. So I just found that it's truly just fitting it to like what their needs are. And if it's like a goal oriented type of person, I will just send them like, okay, do your tax form, send me a selfie, do this, do this, do this. And then their training is like poof, and it's over. And then obviously for the more detail oriented people, it takes them a little bit longer, but they're more comfortable with me already because I've been able to give them those details that they need. And I found that doing this, for the distributors that I've signed up this month, they've all at least signed up either their shopping sprees or one distributor. So by being more personal and like giving them that little bit more of what they need, it's just been helping so much. And then if they're friend oriented, I just get them on a FaceTime and I just essentially like talk to them, try to figure out who they are and like all of that jazz. And then from there, I just kind of say like, okay, so like I'm just going to walk you through eSuite, and then like we'll do your tax forms. You'll send me a picture because I can post it on my story and things like that. So that's truly how I like to train distributors. Yeah, it's on my YouTube. So I don't know, it just helps a lot for me at least. And yeah, I just really like it. So that's kind of how I've been training my distributors here recently. And like I said, it's been working really, really well. And so yeah, that was kind of my tips for you guys.
I love it. I'm really red, so like I just didn't even do our training unit when I got started. I was like, I don't got time for that. I got to make money. So I love how you're talking about training for different colors. That's so awesome. I do want to ask you, so for my team at least, my presidential upline, Katie, she was very Facebook. It's always been Facebook. We're like down the line from Melody McFarland, who's a little bit more old school. So it's always been Facebook. And we have very recently started trying to switch over to Instagram as well. So for those I know a lot of my girls are trying to figure out Instagram post to post. So can you explain how you do that?
Yes, and I'm so glad you asked because I totally meant to go into that, but I just forgot. So how I like to do it is, you know, being green, I gotta be extra. So how I do it is I do this and unfollow people on Instagram at the same time, because I don't know if any of you guys have found apps that are working to unfollow people for you guys. I haven't found one. I'm done looking. I don't care. I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. And I go to my following and I flip it to earliest. So it's going to be the people that I follow whenever I first made my Instagram. So basically what I do is I click that and I just kind of go down the line. Obviously, if it's like friends, family, my brother, sister, I don't have siblings, but you know, relatable. Then like I'm not going to look at them. But if it's like someone and I'm like, I think she might be a customer for me, I'm going to like click her profile, see if she's still following me. If she's not, then I'm going to unfollow her. And if she is still following me, I will click on the messaging. And then I'll see like kind of where we are like in a conversation, if we've even had a conversation. There's sometimes when I find people that I literally have never reached out to, and I'm like, it's probably been a good 6 years, or at least 2. Like I know 6 years since you've been on Instagram, and then 2 for my business, and I've never reached out to you. This is great. So I'll just reach out to them real quick. And then if I have talked to them and it's either been some type of conversation of I'm not interested, I don't have the money right now, it's been follow up for 162 years, I just send this message, and it has been working so well for me. I'm super blunt, so it just says like, I know you may not be interested in my products, but I was wondering if you'd be willing to help me spread the word about my business, blah, 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 blah. So from the 1st through the 15th, I try to focus on distributors. And by the 15th, if I haven't hit my distributor goal, like prior to that, I just flip over to customers because I try to do like half and half. So first half of the month, I'm focused on enrollment or distributors, and the second half I'm focused on volume. So that's kind of how I like to do my business. Like I said, for this month, I'm set up for price, so I just really need volume, but I'm also trying to rack in these points for Margaritaville because y'all best believe I'm going on that trip. So I'm just trying to rack in as many points as I can, and I'll flip it back to customers. But I just do that, and it's been working, you guys. Like I said, I signed 4 distributors from Host to Post on the 1st of this month, and then I signed 6 at the end of last month. Like, as I was pushing for volume, some girls just reached out. I will say that most of them are not on the spot. Some of them have been on the spot, and if they are on the spot, I will say, like, before I send them the steps, I just kind of say, like, okay, like, I just kind of want to give you like a heads up, like, I'm looking for like serious people, and I just kind of say, like, this isn't gonna be like you're gonna join me and you're gonna quit. Like, I just kind of throw it out there because, again, I am very blunt. So also, Reagan, I'm writing down your question because I know I'm going to forget, but if it's written down, I won't forget it. So just letting you know. But yeah, so I just kind of say, like, I'm looking for serious girls who are willing to, like, work with me, willing to, like, they want to make a change, and, like, you're not just going to quit. And I just kind of keep it out there, and, like, some girl, like, I haven't had someone say no yet. So I'm kind of like, okay, but, like, most, like, some girl or no one has said, like, oh, maybe it's not for me then, because I really don't know what I would say. I'd be like, okay, like, that would be weird. But most of them are like, okay, yes, like, it sounds like such a good plan, blah, blah, blah. And then, like I said, like, these girls that I've been doing that with, they haven't been the ones that go into the witness protection program. Like, they're, like, actively working with me. And then, obviously, for follow-ups, I mean, you guys, I just keep it simple. I don't overthink it because I am green. I can overthink anything. So I just kind of say, like, hey, girl, or something that I used on the 1st that got 2 of these girls to sign up says, I would say, like, hey, girl, your name just popped back into my mind. I was wondering if you still wanted a VIP spot on my team. And I've been saying that for customers and distributors. And I feel like the whole, like, your name popped into my mind. It's like, that would make my whole day. So, like, if I say that to someone else, like, I want to make their whole day, you know? So that's kind of how I like to do it. And that always been working for me for those 2 girls at least. And then, yeah, I'm just trying to think. And then, like, obviously just like a normal follow-up. I like the VIP spot thing. That's been really working for me. Or I literally have one half off code left. Like, I am personally just using my distributors codes, and I'm just giving them that distributor. Because, like, I ran out of codes like 2 days after I got them. But, like, I'm just kind of like doing it that way. And then, Tiffany, to answer your question, I think this is the message. Yeah. So that's kind of how I explain, like, what it is that we do. And then obviously at the end of that, it says, like, I love that I'm able to do this while I'm at home with Jeremy, which is my boyfriend, or my kitten, which is Keto, and his name is Keto. Yes, because of our products, and he's running around here somewhere. And then it says, like, or when I'm out with friends. I don't ever hang out with people, but I had to put that in there because I didn't want to feel like a weirdo just hanging out at home with my cat. So it's fine. But that's kind of how I like to do that. And then really just to seal the deal for your question, Regan, it's truly just like being real. Like, if they're like, I don't have the money, I'm like, girl, I didn't have the money either. Like, no, you don't join this business because you have money. You join this because you need money. And I kind of explain, like, my situation, and I'm just like real. And I'm just like, I truly didn't join this because I needed extra income. But whenever it came, I was so thankful for it. Or I'll explain Carly Guerrero's story of how she joined, and she literally didn't pay her water bill to join this business, and then sold her wraps for cash to then go pay her water bill. So, like, that's like a perfect example. And I love using that because, like, that just kind of puts it into such a perspective for people that if you need to make quick cash in this business, there are so many ways you can do it. And I feel like that is just like kind of giving them those scenarios of other people have really helped. And yeah, that's kind of my answer to that question.
All right, so I have one more question, and I purposely did not tell you I was going to ask this because I want to put you on the spot and see what your answer is, okay?
Why would you do that to me?
If you were given 2 hours to sign a distributor, what would you do? How would you do it?
I feel like I answered this like 2 days ago, and you asked me, and I can't think of the message. Honestly, you guys, I would go straight to follow-ups. I have all of my potential distributors. That's not the right list. Also, I realized that I sent that message to someone privately, so I just put it in the chat. So sorry that I did that because I was talking about it. Y'all couldn't even see it. But I have my potential list of distributors here. and my list of potential distributors. And then I would just go straight to that, you guys. And I would just say, like, look, I have one spot or one VIP spot on my team for someone who's ready to earn $500 a month, like something like that. And I do have, oh, look, it's right there as if it knew I was going to grab it. This is going to be sold for millions of dollars one day. It has every potential, every chart, everything I've ever used to work my business is in this binder. So I would go like resort to this. I would start going back to September. I was like, what month is it and what month was before this? I was going to September, August, July, June. I hope that was in the right order. And I would just literally go back until the month that I started my business. And I know I would sign at least someone. So that was just, honestly, like if I was given 2 hours to sign a distributor, and then also along with that, like another thing I can add is it's confidence, you guys. I am confident that I can sign distributors because I'm a mass distributor enroller. I've enrolled over 150 this year, and that's just this year. And it's what, October 4th, 3rd-ish? I think it's October 3rd because I think I saw the Mean Girls meme today. But yeah, so like it's just confidence, you guys. And like obviously that comes with time, but I am confident that I know what I'm doing. I know that this business works. I know that I can train people. I know that I'm a good leader. And like, I hope that kind of makes sense, but it truly just is confidence. And if you don't have that confidence in you yet, go to your upline, go to the person that you enrolled with. For my first like 3 or 4 distributors, I know I did, I don't know the right word. I think this word's like weird, but I did a 3-way call with them and my leader, and I signed each of those distributors on the spot. And so like, I truly just was like, I got them on the phone. I wish I could remember what we even talked about. I probably didn't talk because I was so nervous, but I just remember Shay would tell her story. She would say like why you basically need to join this business, and she would relate it back to why that person wanted to join this business. And then they would sign up from there. And then, so yeah, that's kind of another thing. And then also I just looked down at my list and it reminded me of something. I have a Google form, like I have a link tree in my Instagram. And if y'all don't know what mine is, it's just my first and last name. Okay, I cannot spell my name. But I have a link tree in my bio, and there's a Google form attached to it it says like partner with me. And I'll say like some months that thing is popping with distributors, like with potentials. And then some months it's literally dry, but like it's fine. Like this month, for example, I've had 6 girls reach out to me just from that. And it's basically them being able to reach out to me without messaging me or without saying like, hey, I want more info. They can just fill out that quick form, and then I get all of their information. And it has like some couple questions in there, like how much do you want to make? What's your Instagram? How did you find me? How many hours a day would you be willing to work this business? Like something like that. So I can kind of get like a gist for them. And then whenever I respond to them or whenever I answer them, Google form. I'm trying to think of my text replacement. It just says like, this is Cheyenne from the Google form. Thanks so much for reaching out. So excited to see if it'd be a good fit for you. Are you familiar with network marketing? And that's kind of how I start all my conversations. If someone is familiar, I do send basically the same thing. I just kind of send like a more condensed version of it. But that is really what I send to people, regardless if like, I just kind of get to know like where they are with it or not, because I didn't know about this before I reached out to Shay about it. So I just want to make sure people understand as well. And so yeah, that was kind of my last thing for that. I know I talked a lot, so I'm sorry.
You're good. That was perfect. Thank you so much for hopping on here with us tonight.
Of course, girl.
So I love what she said about confidence. Confidence is so huge. It's really like the undertone, like secret of the business. To be successful, you have to be confident in yourself. And I do talk about this all the time when I talk to my leaders, is it's our job as leaders, and a leader is anyone who has a distributor under them. In case you didn't know that, newsflash, you're a leader now. Anyone who has someone under them, when you're a leader, it's your job to believe in people more than they believe in themselves, because borrowed confidence is real. And if you have confidence in someone who's new, you would be amazed at how much quicker they can get started. When I got started, I had no idea what I was doing. I did not do the training because I was so red. I wanted to make money. I told everybody that the Thermophyte was actually coffee, like no idea what I was doing, but I signed a distributor in my first like 48 hours because my enroller or my upline, my like the person above my roller, told me I could do it. And so I was like, okay. So I went and I did it. And it's so important. Like, it's so simple. And we don't think about the value in that, but just telling someone like, hey, you can do this. Hey, you can sign a distributor. Hey, you can grow your team. Like, it's that simple. And that gives so much life and confidence. So I'm going to let Cheyenne say one more thing, and then we're going to jump back to Brittany.
Okay, sorry, you guys. I just thought about this real quick. So if you haven't been journaling, you need to start journaling absolutely right now. And something that I've been doing with my business, like for distributors and journaling, I journal about my team. And I just like, whenever I'm journaling about this, I talk about the people that are coming into my team. I talk about how they're so confident. They're so excited to be able to help other people. They want to be able to go Ruby within their first month or Diamond. Like, I just kind of like manifest these things. And I kid you not, you guys, with these 4 girls that I signed up this month, each one of them want to go Diamond by the end of this year, and they signed up on October 1st. And that was truly because I've been manifesting and journaling about like signing diamonds and like signing girls that want to go diamond. So that's kind of my last thing is like, if you haven't been journaling, seriously journal and just like start manifesting these things, because that literally just like completely changed my business. So yeah, that's my last thing.
Perfect. Okay, Brittany, if you want to unmute yourself and take it away, girlfriend.
Okay. What the heck am I supposed to talk about now? Y'all are amazing. But my name is Brittany. I'm a double diamond and I'm going triple this month, making it happen. So I just want to say that, distributors don't come from one place. So you'll hear people talking about messaging, talking about posting, all the different things. Like, you have to make sure that you're doing your 6 list and you're doing it consistently. I've had people sign up from stories. I've had people sign up from posts. I've had people sign up from interacting. A girl on my team, she's probably on here, Chrissy, she went double in 5 months and she signed up because I posted or I commented on one of her posts. So they come from everywhere. So just make sure you're doing all the things. And speaking of messaging, I know, I can't even remember who said it now, but they said that they like don't really message a lot or whatever for distributors. And I actually do. I love messaging because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I can send out as many messages as possible and talk to all these people, and the person that I'm talking to might be my next diamond or my next double, whatever. And so I message all the time. I basically use a version of Mariah's, but I switched it up to be more personal to me. And that kind of goes along with what they also said as far as like scripts. Any script that I use is one that I create or, change up to be about me, or about something that relates to me. So I'll send that, and then whenever people respond, and like literally when I'm sending something that comes from me, I was telling my girls this the other day, like I literally get messages back every single time. So when they message me back, I always send them a voice message because this is like a cold message, kind of. I mean, it's warm, but So whenever they respond, I always send them a voice message back to let them know that like, I'm a real person. This is legit. Like, I'm excited. So they hear my voice. They hear that I'm excited. And then I also get to tell them why I think that they would be good at what I do, because that's part of my message. So I basically just tell them, I think that you'd be amazing in the original message. And then, like I said, in the voice message, I'll tell them why. So I am specific about who I message. Typically, they either have good content, they have a great market, they're already active on social media, whatever it is. So I'm letting them know in that voice message why it is that I think that they would be good. So like, they know that it's just not like, I sent this to everyone and, whatever. So I do that. And then I do have, certain things that I say about like how much it is to join the business and things like that. But basically I keep it about them, just like they said. I'm asking them how much they want to make. I'm asking them how much time they're going to be able to put into their business. And I'm making sure that those things line up. If not, I'm going to go ahead and tell them that it doesn't, and kind of talk to them about what we need to do to fix that, or what I would expect of them, things like that. So then after that, or going along with that, I always make sure that I'm ending it with a question. So I'm making sure that they have a reason to respond back, and that keeps the conversation going. So after I get through all of that, I ask them when they want to get started, and then they'll either tell me right now, you know, whatever it is, because I haven't talked to them about the price yet. So next comes talking about the business kit. I don't care if it's $99, $20, $50, whatever. You need to be excited about the price, because $99 is nothing, like Cheyenne said, to start a business. Like, you need to be excited about that. And I basically voice message everything. So even when it comes to talking about the business kit and all that stuff, like, I'm still voice messaging them so they know that I'm like super pumped that it is only $99. So I let them know that. And then, like I said, I'll ask them when they want to get started. And if they tell me, you know, a certain day or whatever they tell me, basically, I'm like, okay, cool. Just let me know when you're ready, or, you know, I'll follow up with you on this date. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you get added to my team page, and we'll start doing the first step. So I'm already giving them, like, once you let me know, or once I follow up with you, like, we're going to go ahead and start moving on. Like, this is what we're going to do. So it's just kind of like setting that pace, I feel. Sorry, y'all, I'm talking so fast. But yeah, so I'm just kind of like setting the pace and the tone through the whole conversation. And then just with voice messaging, I feel like I keep it, you know, keep them excited and let them know that I am excited to help them reach their goals, because like I said, I'm making it about them. Let me see, what else can I say? Because I feel like everything I was gonna say, y'all said. Let's see. Okay, so talking about posting, this was kind of sad too, but I basically try to keep it open to everyone. So I try to think about like all the different color personalities. I will post about the friendships I've made. I will post about, you know, actual facts about network marketing and people being in debt, things like that. I will post about my goals and what my team's goals are. Just basically keeping it, like someone else said, you know, talking about what you're doing and like where you're going, but also including a bunch of different people as well, because we want all kinds of people on our teams, right? We want people who are going to be competitive like you, and who are also going to be, you know, willing to help, and, you know, all the things. We want everyone to join and just come and be successful with us. So let's see. I think really I said everything, because a lot of what I was going to say was already covered. But something else I did want to say, because we do have codes right now, like Cheyenne said, if you have somebody who is joining with a code or whatever, like, it's okay to make sure that they know that because they're taking this spot, they need to be serious about it. And same for you. You're allowed to pick who you want on your team with these codes, because they are so limited, and you want the best people who are going to run with you the most. So I feel like that's really important. And just making sure that you're consistent, because people are waiting for you to fail. They're waiting for you to stop. So if you stop posting, you're going to prove them right. And instead, like, if you keep going, if you keep showing them that you're consistent, you know, you're talking about where you're going, you're talking about your goals, then eventually you're going to surpass their timeline and they're going to join you. Sorry, my son just woke up. But yeah, I mean, that's basically all I wanted to say. That, and just be excited. Be excited about what you have your hands on. Be excited about the price. Be excited about where you're going, and people are going to jump on board with you too.
I love it. I do have another question for you, but first I want to piggyback off one of the things you said about being selective. Like, I love that you said that you are allowed to be selective about who is on your team. We get so caught up in the need, like, we need distributors and we need to box, so we take anyone and everyone. But guys, the idea of addition by subtraction is real. When you get rid of the dead weight, you get rid of the people who are not going to work, you get rid of the riffraff, you're going to go so much farther, so much faster. So be selective. It's so okay to be selective. I mean, that's like right now with our half off codes. When I'm talking to distributors, I tell them it's $99 to join. Like, I literally signed up as a distributor 2 to 3 days ago for $99, even though I had all my codes, because they know the value, and I want my code for someone who sees the value but doesn't have the finances. So I want them joining for $99. I want my codes for who I think deserves them, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to sign to people. So I think that was just one thing I want to throw in there. It's like, Be selective. I absolutely love that. So I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Cheyenne. If I gave you 2 hours to sign a distributor, how are you doing it?
I would absolutely follow up. Just like she has everybody written down, I do too. I have all my potentials in one place. I have all my distributors highlighted. So I know exactly who to message. And then also I would use the search bar feature in Facebook and type in, I don't know, income or something like that, because I feel like that's a super quick way to follow up, because everybody that you've ever said that word to is going to pop up in your messages.
That's so good. I love that. I didn't even think about that. I love it. Okay, so thank you so much for hopping on here and talking. I appreciate all of your tips.
Of course. Thank you.
So I want to close us with a little bit of mindset. Those of you who know me know, like, I preach mindset, because this business is 80% your mind, 20% what you actually do. So I want you guys to take a couple seconds, and I want you to think of 5 characteristics of your ideal distributor, your ideal rock star. Like, I want you to think really hard of 5 characteristics. Are they going to be self-motivated? Are they going to be a natural leader? Are they going to take initiative? Are they going to catch the vision? Are they going to be like happy? Like, think of 5 characteristics that you would want in your, like, the person you sign and goes ambassador 30 days later, like that kind of level people. Think of 5 things. I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to do that. Okay, your couple seconds are up. Hope you think fast. So if not, you can think more when we get off. So I want you to look at that list, and I want you to put that list that you just made in the front of your binder, on your desk, wherever it is, and I want you to read that list every single day. And then I want you to ask yourself every single day, am I that person consistently? You have to be your first rock star. You have to be your first runner. You have to be your first ideal DT, because you are going to attract who you are. So those 5 things you just wrote down, that's who you need to become every day. Not just on Mondays, not just on Saturdays, not just when you have a good day, but every day. You need to become the person you want on your team. And once you become that, it's just like when you decide that you want a new car. If you decide you want a red Corolla, all of a sudden, everywhere you look, it's red Corollas. They're everywhere. And it's the same thing. When you identify what distributor you want, become that person, you're going to look up, and those people are going to be everywhere. All of a sudden, coming out of the woodworks, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I have to have this girl. This is exactly what I want. But you can't find exactly what you want if you don't know exactly what you want. So first, you've got to identify that. But I am so excited you guys hopped on here. This was awesome. The recording will be on my YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.